Guys, it's your boy T, and I'm back again with another live, guys. In this game day live, let's go. I'm here. I'm gonna talk about the weather. I'm gonna talk about some injury news, and I'm here for about an hour to answer all your questions. So if you want to get your question answered within that hour, make sure you super chat or become a member of the channel, and you get to skip the line. Appreciate everybody being here. Uh, Guys, let me try to get this camera right. It's not. There we go. There we go. Right there. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. Okay, so let's get to the injuries first. I want to talk about the injuries first. Okay, so Joe Mixon says not slated to play Sunday. Mixon ankle is not in line to play Sunday against the Jaguars. Adam Scheffler of ESPN reports that Mixon was listed as questionable for the contest, with his Week 4 status slated to be officially confirmed once the Texas inactives are posted ahead of Sunday's 1 o'clock Eastern Time kickoff. In his looming absence, Cam Akers is once again slated to be the lead back. Now, listen, the way I feel about Cam Akers is if you don't have anybody better to put at the position, this guy's getting goal line touches. Sometimes you just got to play a guy off of goal line touches. So I'm okay with playing Cam Akers if that's the best guy that you have. Like, I'm probably going to play Bucky Irvin over Cam Akers because Cam Akers is not that explosive, right? I'm just giving you context of what I'm trying to say. All right, let's move on. We got some Christian McCaffrey news. Says maybe eyeing early November. Guys, don't pay any attention to that. Yes, he could come back, but if you have CMC, you got to operate your team as if he might not never come back. So what I'm saying, I'm not telling you to drop Christian, but I'm telling you don't be saying, when Christian come back, I'm going to win the championship because Christian McCaffrey is coming back. And then he don't come back, and you be like, I don't know what happened. So don't worry about Christian McCaffrey. If you come back, let that be the icing on the cake. You can still eat cake without icing. Cake without icing tastes good, but with icing on it, it's a lot better, right? So that's what CMC should be for your team. So it looks like he should be coming back, and they saying early November. Let's see what else is relevant to us. CEH Clyde Edwards-Helaire for the Kansas City Chiefs is expected back this coming week. Skylar Thompson, it could be the emergency third quarterback, and that's good. So, guys, I actually feel better about playing Tyreek Hill. I'm not going to play Water. That's my prerogative bench. I'm just going to play Tyreek, and I'm going to see what's going to happen with this team. And also, I got A-Chain. I'm going to play A-Chain, too, in this offense, and I'm just going to sit back and see what happens, right? Guys, make sure you put your comments into the comment section. I will get to it. If not, if you want to skip the line, you know you can super chat. Appreciate everybody being here. Raheem Mostert is questionable for Monday's night's game. Chris Olave is questionable. It says optimism regarding his status for Sunday. Let me talk a little bit about that. It says Olave has a hamstring injury. That's dangerous. That's dangerous. Anytime you see a skilled positional player with a hamstring injury, it's dangerous. Now, offensive linemen and some D linemen, they don't really need the hamstring. It is not as big to them, but wide receivers and running backs is huge for them. So we're gonna have to wait to a game time report. They play it Sunday, so we should be hearing about that at 12:30. All right, let me move that over a little bit. There we go. There we go. Appreciate y'all guys being here. Love you guys, man. Love doing what I'm doing. Very, very busy, but I love doing what I'm doing, guys. Okay, let's see what else we need to talk about. Nick Chubb, window expected to be open on Wednesday, so Nick Chubb should be coming back. I'm not saying he's going to be a league winner, but I think he will be able to give you a touchdown a game. He's still, strong as an ox. Deebo Samuel is expected to play today. So if you have Juwan Jennings, I don't know. Maybe if you want to put him as a flex play, I think you could put him in as a flex play today just to see what happens because he had a big game. There's no way they're going to only give him 2 targets. This guy's going to get 5 targets today because of what he did last week. You don't, as a coach, no player, nobody on that team would tolerate if I have a great game and then the next game you don't even want to put me in and I ain't did anything wrong, no off the field issues, then you need to give me some targets. Not all the targets, but some targets. Now, I'm not telling you to play Jawan Jennings, but I just want you to know Debo is there. Debo has been known to come back slowly because of the way he is. Lisa, they usually be saying my hairstyle was part of the alphabet community, whatever. I guess that's because I don't want to offend anybody, right? But yeah, thank you, Elisa. I've been growing this hair out for probably maybe about 6 months after COVID, kind of when COVID, like 2021, 2021, in the beard too. Go back and look at my old videos. I got no beard with a box cut. Let's see. Keenan Allen plans to play today. Listen, we all know that team is musical chairs. You got Rome Odunze, you got Cole Kmet, you got DJ Moore, you got Keenan Allen, you got a lot of guys. Me, I'm playing Cole Kmet in the league. I like him as a tight end premium. What else would I say? DeAndre Swift, Roschon Johnson. I'm not playing DeAndre Swift. I don't have any stocks of DeAndre Swift. I do got a stock in Roschon Johnson. I'm going to have him on a bench in one league. Another league, I'm putting him as a flex play. So it's a lot of mouths to feed on that offense. Nobody knows who the number one. I do think if I had to bet on anybody, I like Roman Dunze and Caleb Williams' chemistry. I love their chemistry. Guys, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to this channel. This is cutting edge content. All right. So let me read this Davante Adams news. It says could miss multiple games. I don't believe that, guys. I could be totally wrong. And if I am, I apologize because injuries are tough. And I think they want to trade Davante Adams. And I think they don't want him to get hurt before they trade him. So they are going to sit him out multiple weeks until they find somebody who will take him on. You remember, Antonio Pierce said, people made business decisions, and we're going to make business decisions. And he felt like Davante Adams quit on that team because they wasn't getting him any targets, and the targets was raggedy, and he didn't want to get hurt. So he made a business decision where I'm not going to run certain routes. And so Antonio Pierce said, well, I'm going to make a business decision. You're not a fit for this team anymore if you don't want to go out and play hard every single snap. So we're gonna sit you until we find somebody that wants you for the right price. That's why I think they're sitting them down. But by me reading this news right here, it says Davante Adams' hamstring is considered to be week to week while nursing his hamstring injury, and I never saw him pull up in the game. Guys, please correct me if you saw Davante Adams pull up in last week's game and he grabbed his hamstring. Please let me know. What's going on, Stacy? Please let me know. I didn't see it. So Adams suffered a hamstring injury in the final minutes. In the final minutes? Get the hell out of here with that. Get the hell out of here with that. So, guys, actually buy low on Davante Adams, stash him. If he go to the Kansas City Chiefs, I'm not saying he's going to go to the Kansas City Chiefs, but he's going to go to an offense that's going to be good. He ain't going to a sorry team, right? They're not going to trade for him because he's going to a team that's ready to win a championship. I don't know who, right? It's not about that. So let's move on, guys, because I want to get to y'all questions. I don't want y'all to be holding up. But I just wanted to put that 2 cents in there. Let's see. Anything. I want to read relevant news. I just don't want to read stuff that it's not going to really help us out. Guys that's on our teams. Devin White still out. He missing week 4. I don't know what the hell going on with Devin White. I drafted him into some IDP leagues. Rashad White got he ate some bad food or some bad, pause. Right? They said his stomach's been upset, but he's still gonna play. All right. You could be right, Don. Okay. AJ Brown ruled out today. Justin Herbert is expected to play, and Jordan Love is expected to play. But they also saying they're gonna put Malik Willis in on some packages. That's disgusting, ain't it? Like, nah. If Jordan Love come in, let him play. If he ain't gonna play, put Malik in. Don't be rotating no damn Jordan Love out for no Malik Willis. I'm sorry, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. This ain't college. All right. Let's see here. I think that Zach Charbonnet relegated back to the backup. Kenneth Walker is playing today. I mean, not today. I'm sorry, tomorrow. Jamar Joseph with the super chat, the $9.99. 99 and a half. Y'all don't know nothing about that, do you? That's a church song right there. One of them black church songs. 99 and a half. Jamar says wide receivers are Jennings, Waddle, Xavier Worthy, Brian Thomas Jr., Christian Kirk. Running backs are B. John, A-Chain, Mason, Jonathan Brooks. Tight end is, I think that's McBride. I think he called him Mac Chad, but Kyler Murray need to drop one to pick up a tight end. Full PPR 12 team with 5 bench spots. Need to drop one. Need to drop one to pick up a tight end. I want to tell you Brooks, but he's getting ready to come back. Even though I'm not high on Brooks, that doesn't matter. He's getting ready to come back. You got to have him on this team. It's not 100% that he ain't gonna play good. I just think Chuba's gonna beat him out. But out of these guys, bro, neither one of them are drops. But I'm gonna rank the top 2 guys that I feel like I could drop for what I see right here. It's gonna be between Christian Kirk and Jennings. I don't think you should drop Worthy with Marquise Brown being out all year. Definitely not B. John and A-Chain. Love your running back room. Love Brooks right now as a stash to see what happens in this team, which I don't think. I think eventually you're gonna end up maybe dropping him or just holding him holding on to him. I don't think he's gonna ever be the player that y'all want him to be, but I could be wrong. Yeah, so I'm gonna just say Christian Kirk and Jennings. So Christian Kirk first, and number 2 would be Jennings. Appreciate the super chat, bruh. All right, let's see, guys. Anything else? Yeah, so Zach Charbonnet is a backup today. I mean, tomorrow. They playing tomorrow. Anything else? Foye Oluokun, the best middle linebacker in the game for the Jacksonville Jaguars, is on IR with a foot injury. Tyler Huntley will be starting for the Miami Dolphins tomorrow. Tyler Huntley will be starting at the quarterback position. Hopefully he had a good, all I need is you to be a little, just NFL accurate. Not elite accurate, but NFL accurate and have a decent arm. And I think Tyreek Hill and Water and A-Chain will be okay. That's all we need. I mean, we just need them to be okay. All right, guys, I think that's about it. I don't see anything else that's going to help. Guys, anything else pop up, put it up in the chat. Help a brother out. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Okay, yeah, Joey Bosa is out today. Anybody that just want to play the Chargers defense, he ruled out today. Excuse me, guys. Excuse me. All right, let's talk about some weather. All right. So today, let's see. We got the New Orleans Saints in Atlanta. This is inside of a dorm, 75 degrees Fahrenheit, slight chance of rain, but it doesn't matter. It's in a dorm. It's in a dorm, guys. It's in a dorm. All right. Next game. This game is going to have some weather. It's in Chicago. It's the Los Angeles Rams at the Chicago Bears. Slight chance of rain, but 16 miles per hour wind. So if you have one of these kickers, you might want to pivot if you can. Remember, you don't always pivot. You don't care if it's snow or not. But you pivot when you can, and it makes sense. You don't have to drop anybody that's going to hurt your team. But yeah, they playing the Chicago Bears outside, 16 miles per hour wind, blowing northeast, 71 degrees Fahrenheit. We're not worried about the 71 degrees, but it's the slight chance of rain mixed with the wind. It could get hard for the field goal kickers. The running backs and wide receivers should still be okay. All right, going to a rival game, the Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers. Let's give a hand clap for the Minnesota Vikings. Let's give a hand clap for the head coach. Let's give a hand clap for Sam Darnold. We all owe Sam Darnold an apology. And I told y'all, didn't I always tell y'all don't quit saying these players suck because you're going to put your foot in your mouth? One thing that I cannot stand, even I hate it in myself, I don't never want to put my foot in my mouth. And a lot of people don't even live life that way. And they're like, man, you just too much pressure. I was like, no, man, I don't want to be wrong. I don't want to speak on people in the wrong way and then have to come back and say I was wrong. Like everybody, well, it was just my opinion. I just gave my opinion. I don't care if it was right or wrong. I just gave my opinion. Well, your opinion is you a hater. You a hater. If you said Sam Darnold sucked, you don't know what Adam Gase did to him. You don't know about none of that type of stuff. So that's why I say, man, be careful. None of these NFL players suck. They just got to get with the right situation. Now, are they Lamar Jackson? Are they Peyton Manning? No, they're not that. But can they be servable? Can they win 2 or 3 games? Yes, they can win 2 or 3 games. It's different degrees to this. None of these quarterbacks or players suck. It's bad coaching. It's a couple players that are kind of, how did he make it? But usually you don't see that in the NFL. But yeah, guys, Minnesota Green Bay Packers, 72 degrees, great weather, 14 miles per hour wind, which is not too bad. This is beautiful weather in Green Bay. This is probably the best weather that you're going to see in Green Bay probably this week. Next week, probably going to be a little bit cold until it, wintertime is coming. So yeah, to play you guys in this game. Pittsburgh, Indianapolis, inside of a dome. We don't care. 69 degrees. The game is perfect. It's inside of a dome. We got Denver versus the New York Jets. And it's going to be a slight chance of rain, 9 miles per hour rain. It's okay. The rain ain't going to hurt anybody. It's a little slight. And 9 miles per hour is not going to mess up any field goal kicking. So play your studs in this game. Also, don't be afraid to play Garrett Wilson. I like Garrett Wilson. I don't care about Pat Surtain. Pat Surtain may shut him down, but I'm trying to get y'all psychologically to think about playing your studs and only worry about a corner. Now, if it's Deion Sanders or Darrelle Reeves or Rod Woodson, maybe we'll think about that. But other than that, I'm not sitting down my studs for a corner because all I need him to have is a touchdown. Let's see. Let's go on to the Philly Tampa Bay game. 87 degrees, great weather in Florida. It's gonna be in Tampa. A chance of thunderstorms. Not really worried about that. 7 miles per hour wind. I'm not really worried about that. So play your studs in Philly and Tampa Bay. I'm a little worried about Jalen Hurts. He has no weapons today. A.J. Brown is out, and I think Devontae Smith is out, if I'm not mistaken. All right. The Bengals going to the Carolina Panthers revenge game for Andy Dalton. Let's see what happens. Outside game in Carolina, 7 miles per hour wind and 79 degrees Fahrenheit. Slight chance of rain. We're not worried about that. We playing our studs. We playing Jamar. We playing Joe Burrow. And we playing Andy Dalton and Deontay Johnson and Chuba Hubbard. Jacksonville and Houston in a dome in Texas. So we're not worried about that game. Just play your studs. Jacksonville, I'm a little bit worried, but I'm going to play Brian Thomas Jr. and Travis Etienne. Everybody else, I don't know. Anybody else, I don't really got any stock in anybody else. Houston, you firing up everybody. I think Tank Dell is out. Nico's, I think he's going to play today. Play guys, I think, and Joe Mixon is out. All right, Washington and Arizona in another dorm game. And it's, guys, they say it's supposed to be 108 degrees for that game. Woo! But it's in the dorm, but it's still going to be hot. So play your studs in that game. Jaden Daniels is balling. Rookie quarterback. 21 for 23. That's a record. The next game is going to be New England Patriots. They go to the West Coast. They playing against the San Francisco 49ers. 73 degrees Fahrenheit, 6 miles per hour wind. So this is a perfect weather game. Play your guys. All right, another game. We got Cleveland going to the Las Vegas Raiders inside of a dorm. It's hot in California. It's hot in California. 100 degrees Fahrenheit inside of a dorm. Cleveland at Las Vegas Raiders. Play your studs. I'm sitting Zamir White today. He's not even getting the goal line carries. That's one of the guys that I missed on. He is terrible. Man, he might get going later, but I'm gonna still say I missed because it's just raggedy looking. All right, let's get on to Kansas City and the Los Angeles Chargers. Actually, it's not hot in Los Angeles. In this game, it's only 74 degrees Fahrenheit with some fog, 10 miles per hour wind. It's inside of a dorm, so it doesn't matter. Play you guys for Kansas City. Rashid Rice is balling. He's going to like a top 5 wide receiver in fantasy. And Justin Herbert is pushing through. I'm nervous. I guess if you're in Superflex, you got to play him. In single quarterback, it just depends on who you got as a backup. All right, you got Buffalo and Baltimore. It's in Baltimore. It's 68 degrees, scattered rain showers, 9 miles per hour wind. I'm still playing my wide receivers in this game. It's gonna be a few. Each team should score 3 touchdowns apiece. So play your guys, play your studs, play Josh Allen, play Lamar, play Derrick Henry, play James Cook, play Zay Flowers, play Khalil Shakir. Another game, we got Tennessee and Miami. 7:30 tomorrow. It's in Miami. Perfect weather. Perfect weather. Play your studs. And you play top. Only person I'm playing is Tyreek Hill. I'm not playing any of them, and Devon Achane. I'm not playing anybody else off Miami. Tennessee, I'm not starting Will Levis. I will play Tony Pollard. I might play D-Hop, and I'm playing Calvin Ridley. Miami got a chance to win this game. That shows you how bad the Will Levis might be. All right, last but not least, we got Seattle versus Detroit inside of a dome. Play your studs. This probably might be the highest scoring game of the week. Detroit, good offense, great offense, a lot of studs. Laporta's going to play. Seahawks, passing the ball a lot. 3 really good wide receivers. Kenneth Walker is playing today inside of a dorm in Detroit. Play your studs. Okay, so let's get to the questions while we all came here. Let's get to everybody question. Appreciate everybody being here. All right, let's see. All right, let me start shooting out some of my members. Black Banks in the building. What's up, Black Banks? What's up, bruh? Let me see. What's going on, Deal Devoted? What's up, Sports Dog? So, Deal Devoted says, TD, who would you flex between Rome, Bucky, Leggett, Braylon Allen? I have Breach. I think I'm going with Bucky. Let me see something. Hold on. All right. Let me see here. Move that on. Let me see here. Man, you know, Bucky going up, that run defense looked really, really good, bro. That run defense. And Rashad White, he's not out completely. Leggett, I like him, but it's too cutting edge right now to play him over Rome Odunze. I like Braylon Allen. I think he's the safest play. I think he has a floor of 8 to 10 points. So he can get you 8 to 10, and I would trust Braylon Allen probably over Bucky this week. I love Bucky. Hold on to Bucky. It's just tough. I think those 2 D tackles for the Eagles is going to try to take over the game. Them boys, they wasn't giving no running room last week. So, you know, man, in full PPR, I would go with Rome. I'm going to rank a couple guys that you can play. I would go between Rome, Braylon Allen, and then Bucky. But all those guys are good. I think it's just a little cutting edge to play Leggett, but I would not be surprised if Leggett had 15 points this week. So if you wanted to play him, just be willing to take, if he only give you 3, and know that he can give you up to 15 points because there's no Adam Thielen there. So I don't want to get too cute and just go to the guy that I think is going to train and have his first breakout game, right? It's just too much for me to tell you that. The safe guys would be Rome, Braylon, Bucky, then Leggett. Hopefully that helps you out, bruh. Travis Lee said, what up, bruh? Let's see here. Hector says CMC out to November. Yes, they're saying he's going to be out to November. Sports Dog says TD 117 PPR super flex. I picked up Sam Darnold by placing Jalen Warren on IR. So now I have Love, Caleb Williams, or Darnold. Do I stick with Williams as my quarterback or use Love or Darnold? It's confusing. Yes, what I would do so you got to look at it as going down with the ship, safe, and boom. That's how you help compartmentalize this. I love that you said that how it's confusing because it can be if you overlook it and try to watch the players. Don't worry about the players. Know what they are in the boom and the safe. Sam Darnold's been playing good. So you don't want to disrespect Sam knowing that he can go out and give you a nice floor or be a top 5 quarterback. I think you need to keep Caleb stash. Love is hurt, and he's playing against a top defense that blitz a lot. Let me see this matchup real quick to make sure. Caleb got a great matchup. Caleb has a great matchup against the Rams. The Rams corners hasn't been playing good. I would play Caleb Williams today for his matchups. He's going to pass the ball around a lot. I would just play for him for garbage time. You don't need him to win the game. You just need him to put up 300 yards and 2 TDs. So I would play Caleb Williams. The reason why I'm telling you to play Caleb Williams over Jordan Love, Love is coming off a knee injury, and they blitzing him. That's why they're going to play Malik Willis a little bit on some snaps. So I would say Caleb Williams. Sam Darnold is safe. If you want to play Sam Darnold, I'm not going to tell you that, but he's playing against Green Bay Packers. Jari Alexander, that defense has been playing good. I think that defense is a top 7 defense right now for Green Bay. So that's why I'm telling you maybe Sam Darnold don't play as well. I do think he's a good quarterback, but I would go with Caleb. That's a tough one, bro, but I'm going with Caleb. Juan Marino says, good morning. Should I start George Pickens or Chuba? I'm going with Chuba. Go with Chuba. Okay. Robert Malley says, what's good, TD? What's good, Robert? Mr. G says, TD, Michael Wilson, Leggett, Waddle, J-Mo for the flex. Michael Wilson is definitely safe with Trey McBride being out. But I'm going to go with J-Mo. I'm going with J-Mo over Leggett and Waddle. And I'm going to rank them. J-Mo, Leggett, Michael Wilson. The reason why I'm going to go with Leggett over Michael Wilson, even though Michael Wilson is safer, is because Leggett got a chance to boom with Adam Thielen out. And that's why they drafted Leggett, to push the safeties and the corners back to be a deep threat for this team. Andy Dalton knows how to get these guys the ball because he's a veteran. He's been playing in the league for 10 to 12 years. So he know what these players are, unlike Bryce Young. So I'm going to say J-Mo, Leggett, and Wilson. Good morning, Elisa. Thank you. Dealer Voter says, hit that like button. Let's run it up. Yes, sir. Let's run it up. Robert Malley says, does anyone know if Mixon is playing or Mixon will not be playing today? Sports Dog says, TD 108 standard. I have Brian Robinson in my flex. I also have Terry McLaurin or Juan Jennings. I will go with Terry McLaurin over Juan today. James Conner or Higgins. I'm going with James Conner over Higgins. Would you leave it or maybe change the flex? Thanks for your advice. No, I'm going with McLaurin over Juan Jennings, James Conner over Higgins. And keep Brian Robinson in your flex. Okay, so I said, who should you play? I think you got to play. I think it might be Washington, bro. It's between Brian Robinson, Terry McLaurin, and James Conner. Those 3. I'm gonna tell you what I think you can pick the 3. Pick one of the 3. I broke it down for you, but I'm gonna pick my guy. I probably would go with Brian Robinson because of Austin Eckler being out. I know he's gonna get everything. So I would say Brian Robinson slightly over Terry McLaurin because it's standard leagues. So I'm gonna go with Brian Robinson Jr. in the flex. Robert Mallett says 1 for the flex. McLaurin, Stevenson, Ford, Ridley, Shakir, Akers. Thanks, bro. Anytime. So assuming this is PPR, full PPR, I'm going with McLaurin over Stevenson, Ford, Ridley, and Shakir and Akers. I'm going with McLaurin over those guys. What up, Tron? He says, what up, TD? Mr. Tuyu says, what up, bruh? What's up, bruh? Joel, what's up, Joel? He says, what up, TD? What's up, Aaron Holloway? Joel says Jordan Addison or Najee in the flex. I'm going with Najee in the flex, even though Cordero Patterson might come in and get a couple carries and couple opportunities. I'm going with Najee in the flex, but I do love Jordan Addison. I love Jordan Addison. I actually have a video saved. I might drop. I'm not gonna drop. I might drop it today. I got one already that I already did. I'm gonna drop it today. Connor, what's up, Connor? Connor says probably dumb question. Ain't no questions dumb, bro. Not on Fantasy Good Sports. No question is dumb. The only thing that's dumb to me is when you go back and regret a move that you made that when you calculated it down. That's the only thing that's dumb. But he says probably dumb question. But Kirk Cousins or Tyler Huntley? Kirk Cousins. Elisa says love the hairstyle. Thank you, Elisa. Elisa says TD, how do you feel about Jacobs now that Love is back? He's gonna be the same player regardless. Now he might have a better box pause, but Jacobs is just Jacobs. I didn't draft a lot of them because he's kind of like that same play, and he's had a lot of carries the last few years. But he's a star. He's definitely a top 12 starting back. That doesn't mean he's going to finish that way. And I expect him to get 20 touches today because of Jordan Love injury. Hey, Gang Grizzle. So, yo, TD, you like Fields or Baker more this week? I like Fields. I like Fields. He got more upside. Hey, Gang Grizzle. So, yo, okay, we did it. Should I still bench Jacobs for Hubbard? That's cutting edge, man. I think both. Listen, Lisa, both of them are starts. But if you have to choose, there's nothing else that you can choose between those two guys. You can't get both of them in there. I like Hubbard over Jacobs today. Sal77 says, "What up, bro? More Mouse or Harris? Mouse or Harris?" I'm going with Zach Moss slightly over Harris. But if you want to play Harris, there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm going with Zach Moss slightly over Harris because of the matchup. And Mixon is not playing today. The Don says, hey, TD, one flex, 4 PPR, Najee at Indianapolis, BTJ at Houston, Ford at Las Vegas. Also Fields, Indianapolis, or Geno at Detroit. Play Geno at Detroit. The passing yards is crazy, so I would play Geno as my quarterback, and I would play Brian Thomas Jr. over Najee and Ford. So Brian Thomas Jr. and Geno. The Don says, don't concern yourself with the alphabet comments. These kids say dumb shit. I know, bruh. I know they do, Don. Appreciate that, bruh. Appreciate that. It be bringing my athletic mentality out, bro. I be wanting to. I don't know. I ain't gonna get into that. But you're right, bro. You're right. If I knew these guys, I don't know what if somebody said that to my face. But anyway, I get what you're saying. It's just YouTube. Tron says, should I trade JD5 and Cup for Neighbors or wait for Cup to return week 7? Should I trade JD5 and Cup for Neighbors? You got it. I think you should trade Cup. Let me see who your backup quarterback. You said I could also trade Mooney and Colliff in another trade. My other wide receivers are Tyreek McLaurin, JSN, and D-Hop. So this is what I would say, bruh. If you got another top 5 quarterback, I think it's smart to trade JD5 and Cup, get them off your team, and go ahead and get Neighbors. But don't trade JD5 if you got Kirk Cousins or somebody like that as a backup. But if you got another elite guy or you got a guy that's trending up, I think it's okay to do that. It's a little bit pricey, but I see if you consolidating. So it's all about who your backup quarterback is. The Don says, I think they are getting ready to tease the Devontae also. Trade Devontae also. Exactly what you said. Facts. Facts, Don. What's up, Stacy? Adams going to the Jets. He could, bro. That makes sense. That's the team that it makes sense on. Cameron Austin says, I got Pollard and Dobbins and Walker. Who do I start? I think you have to start Walker over Dobbins and Pollard. Shivery. Hey, bro, 3-part question. Standard. Pick one wide receiver. So it's standard. Debo, Reed, Cooper. I'm going Amari Cooper for touchdown upside over Debo and Reed. Only reason why I'm putting Cooper in front of Debo because Debo's coming off an injury. And full PPR, more Ayuk. I'm going with more slightly over Ayuk because all the weapons are back except for CMC. So I'm gonna go with more at flex and quarterback A. Rich or Donald. I'm going to tell you to go with Donald. Listen, I'm playing A. Rich in the league, but you got to go with Donald and just keep watching A. Rich. I think he's going to mature, man. And I think you're going to have to make a decision later on in the season. Who are you going to trade and who you're going to move forward with? That's a great question, though. But yeah, I would go ahead and play Sam Donald. Yeah, right, McBride. I knew you was talking about McBride, bruh. Jamar. Jack Bowles, what's up, Jack? He says, don't know who to start. Deep league, Zamir White, Madison, P. Ryan, Charbonnet. I would probably start Madison. That's disgusting. But that's the best guy. You can't start Zamir. And if he come out and score 2 touchdowns, do not worry about that shit. Ain't nobody going around knowing, and I hate to say this, I don't want to be careful. If somebody is defecating on themselves, do you want to look in there and see if it's pee or if it's poop? You don't give a damn what it is. They defecating on themselves. Zamir is defecating in a metaphorically way for how they using them. It's disgusting. And I don't care what happens, how many touches he get in the green zone because you haven't been using them like that. So I'm not going to feel bad just because you give him a touchdown. So I'm going to tell you Madison because Madison has outplayed him every single damn week. So I'm going to go with Alexander Madison. Loud ENT, what's up, Loud? He says, pick 3, please. Have PPR. Deontay, Tyreek, DJ Moore, Flowers, Stevenson. I'm going with Tyreek, Deontay, and DJ Moore. I love Flowers. It's hard for me to put, you could swap out DJ Moore and Flowers, but I can't do that. DJ Moore is the #1 wide receiver. He got a big deal. They got to give him the ball. They drawing up manufactured targets for DJ Moore. So that's why I'm putting them over Flowers and Stevenson. All these guys are good starts. All of them, from Stevenson to Flowers. But if I had to pick 3, I'm going to pick a Deontay, who's going to get hyper-targeted. Tyreek, who's still going to get manufactured targets that Mike McDaniels want to get him the ball. He's one of the highest paid wide receivers. And DJ Moore, one of the highest paid wide receivers. And he's the #1 on that team. Now, what's going to happen from week to week, we don't know. So those are the 3 guys that I would play, Loud. Appreciate you being here. Big Will in your house. Watch your mouth. What's up, Big Will? Durf Boy 22 says, what's good, bro? Should I try to trade Jacoby Myers before his owner figures out what's going on with Devontae Adams? Yes. And make sure you get something better because that's a great player to trade because you can get something 9 times out of 10 better. Like, I would swap out Jacoby Myers for Brandon Ayuk. Or maybe even a JSN or somebody that I think is trending. Tank Dale. I would love to switch out Tank Dale and Jacoby Myers. Taluga, what's up, bruh? He says Fields over Mahomes. You know I can't tell you that. You know I'm not going to tell you that. If you drafted Mahomes, it's almost like getting in a relationship with a 400-pound woman, but she's been good to you. You just gonna have to stay with her until the end of time, bro. You just gonna have to. You drafted Mahomes. You just gonna have to play him until the wheels fall off. Ain't nobody. I can't tell you. Hey man, get rid of Mahomes and trade him and put him on the bench and play Fields. I can't tell you to do that. I don't know if I would. I don't think I would do it on my personal teams. Mahomes is kind of the guy. Like if you drafted him, you kind of just got to play with him. It's nothing really. Ain't no moves to make. He's not being that top upper echelon guy. That's why I told a lot of my people not to draft the Kansas City Chiefs this year outside of a couple guys. I didn't even say anything about Rice because I thought Rice was going to get suspended. He says, thoughts on Garrett Wilson this week? Play him. I'm starting him. Cameron also said, do we play Tyreek? Yes. You play him as just an auto pick. You in there, Tyreek. I'm going to see what you're going to do. T. Jones says, start 3. PPR, Akers, Jennings, Brian Thomas Jr., Dotson, Leggett. Brian Thomas Jr., Leggett, and Akers. Akers, Brian Thomas Jr., and Leggett. I love those three. Because you don't got two. See, man, T. Jones, those are good backup guys. Why? Because you can go ahead and play Brian Thomas Jr. with nobody else pushing him. You can play Akers and you can play Leggett. Most people won't be able to get Leggett on the field because they got too much talent. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I like to be able to look and put certain guys up against backups. That way I'm saying, oh, this is his week. I'm going to take a shot on Leggett because it looks like he got an opportunity. But if I had like not Jennings, but if I had like a couple lower tier guys and I would have to try to play them over Leggett, I wouldn't be able to get to Leggett. So yes, Akers, Brian Thomas Jr., and Leggett, put them in. Bob Wire, what's up? He says, please help Pollard, Hubbard, or Kenneth Walker. Play Kenneth Walker. Start to him. Play Kenneth Walker and Hubbard. I hate to tell people to sit Pollard, but Hubbard needs to be on the field. So Hubbard and Kenneth Walker. What's up, bro? What's going on with you, bro? Sports Law said TD news here in Green Bay is the coach may try to use. Right, I said that earlier. That he's going to use Malik Willis on some snaps. That's why I'm kind of pushing Jordan Love down just a little bit. The same way New Orleans uses Taysom Hill, right? If so, I may rethink using Love in the future. No, not in the future. Listen, once Love need get right all the way, bro, don't worry about that. But right now, they playing against a team that blitz a lot. So they want to make sure that Love stay healthy, and they don't want his knee to get injured, right? So that's the reason why. Kevin Austin says, what's going on with the Rams offense? Nothing. Everybody hurt. Everybody hurt. And Matthew Stafford played out of his mind last week. To win that game, one thing, man, you got to give Matthew Stafford credit, man. He didn't have no weapons. He had a bunch of backups and went out there and won that damn game. So that's all this about injuries. The Don says, I think you played A-Chain and Tyreek regardless. There you go, Don. Preach. Let him know, Don. He says, I think you play A-Chain and Tyreek regardless unless they are hurt. Everyone else is up for debate, even Water, in my opinion. Right, Water's up for debate too. Play A-Chain and Tyreek. You know, Don. Good shit, bruh. I agree with you. That's what I'm saying. I agree with you. C.A. Jefferson said, would you trade Stephon Diggs for Henry? If I'm deep at wide receiver and I can't get Stephon Diggs in my lineup, yeah. That's what it's about when you make trades. Can I get him in my lineup? Like, if I got Stephon Diggs and I'm trying to play matchups with him every week, I'm trading him and I'm consolidating and I'm going to get me a top RB. So, yes, if Stephon Diggs is your number one or number two wide receiver, don't do it. Renzo, I see you, bruh. CJ says, all right, man, I'm taking a break from social media for now. I said, yeah, in my last short video, the wood to hood. Okay, I don't know about that. Dub Nation says Britton Strange, T. Higgins are likely, or Pat Fryermuth need one. Man, I like likely. I'm playing likely, but I'm not going to tell y'all to do it because I understand what's going on. I like Britton Strange too. The Higgins, I don't know who that is. If that's T. Higgins, I would play T. Higgins over all those guys. If E. Higgins is some backup tight end, then I would tell you to pay Pat Fryermuth. The Rose says Mitchell Trubisky should be a starter. I said what I said. Charlene says, hey, TD, thanks for the weather report. Hey, that's your weather report. You the one started that. Charlene used to get on me all the time. And Charlene would get on me about anything. She don't care. That's why I respect her. But she said, TD, how you doing fantasy football content and you won't even talk about the weather? I said, I was hot at first. I'm like, she right. How I'm going to do fantasy football content and I'm not telling y'all nothing about what's going on with the weather? I just assume, because I don't really look at the weather like that. I look at it a little bit. So I gotta understand that I'm teaching, not just doing for me. So I always give that credit to you, Charlene. George says ETN, Chuba, Hubbard, or London for the flex. London slightly over ETN. All those guys are starters, but I'm pretty sure you in an 8-team or a 10-team league. But I think ETN, Hubbard, and London are all starters. So basically, bro, to try to choose who's gonna score highest, that's hard in fantasy because different stuff happen every week. But London is a top 3 round pick guy. You got to put him in the lineup. He's the #1 wide receiver on his team. Hubbard is good. I like Hubbard, but I'm not gonna play Hubbard that I drafted in the 7th round over London. Some people say, yeah, why not do that? It's the good move. Hubbard balled out. Fantasy is like that, and I want to catch the wave of my #1 players, and London is the guy. ETN is struggling a little bit because of the offense, but I love ETN too. But I would play London over those 3 guys. Linebacker, what's up, bruh? He said, YouTube, what's good? He says, pick 1 tight end to start, please. Conklin, Elijah. Okay, I see what y'all talking about, Elijah Higgins. I don't even know who that guy is because tight ends are so far out there. I'm not going to the waiver like that and looking for nobody. I'm not going to the bottom of the barrel to find a girlfriend. That's why I look at this situation because it's all ladies are ladies, right? That's what I'm trying to say. But I would say Conklin over Hunter Henry and Strange. Big Will says, what up, TD? Have you played college ball hurt or injured? No, I've never played hurt or injured. He said, do you believe in pushing past the injury pain? It depends on what it is. Not in my knees, not in my shoulders. I'm gonna take time off to make sure they heal because these are degenerate ligaments. But like a bruise, I'm pushing through that bruise. My finger got bent back. I'm pushing through those type of injuries. Do you believe in pushing through these injuries or being smart about it? I believe being smart about it and healing up, especially when you are younger. Now in the NFL, and you making money, you can push through something that you're going to have problems with. Why? Because you're going to have $15 million in your bank account sitting on your couch taking Advil for the pain for the rest of your life. And that's fine. I got 15 million. I'm gonna be happy going out of town with my family. That's how you got to break this down. NFL, you got to play hurt. They paying you to do that. They know your body is going to wear down eventually. But in college, I'm not playing through any type of injuries unless it's just a bruise. Big Will says, I'm asking this because these players in denial and hiding what's going on with their coach. With their coaches, right? And this depends, right? They don't want to let them know that they got a concussion because they want to be able to play for their team. And you can expect that with athletes. That's why they have all these third-party people coming out there to make sure these guys cannot hide these injuries. Conscious Machine, what's up, bro? He says, I'm here. Let's go. Dobbs, Sutton, Dotson, Spears, Justice Hill. I would go with Sutton, Courtland Sutton. MVM says, start 1, Ford, Pickens, or Odunze. I love... Sorry about that. But it's close between Pickens and Odunze. Whew. Let me see. Let's go with this. I'm going with Pickens over this, slightly over Odunze. I'm gonna say Pickens. MVM. If Big Will says, "Are we starting A-Chain?" You got to start him. I have Montgomery ready to ball if need be, right? But that's why I need to see the whole team, bruh. I just can't put A-Chain on my bench because he can score from anywhere on the field, any point in time of the game. Montgomery is a very safe guy to go to. I think you're going to have to make that decision. But I'm going to tell you, I will put A-Chain in. But if you want to play Montgomery, I'm being disingenuous. To tell you to play A-Chain, I could be being disingenuous to your team because Montgomery is probably one of the safest running backs to put in, especially if a guy is playing on a regular offense because of the quarterback situation. So I get why you would want to play Montgomery. I'm going to tell you to put A-Chain in. Conscious Machine says, find those 3 dots in the top right corner and hit that thumbs up button. Yes, sir. All right, let me see, guys. I haven't seen. Let me see if I got super chatted. If I have and I missed your super chat, I haven't seen it. Seems like I got some more money came in here. Okay, I'm sorry, Chris. I did not see it, bruh. I did not see that. Chris Villa says 2 wide receivers. +2 flex PPR. Debo, Brian Thomas, Atwell Ford. Oh, 2 wide receivers plus 2 flex. So I'm going with Debo and Brian Thomas. Debo, Brian Thomas, Ford, and Irvin. Debo and Brian Thomas, Ford, and Irvin. Sorry about that, bro. I didn't see that super chat earlier. I'm trying to, usually I got it on my screen where they all gonna pop up. Okay. OG Lancelot says Brandon Allen or Calvin Ridley. Bro, you got to go with Calvin Ridley. See, Calvin Ridley is one of those players where he's gonna make you sit people who have a chance to boom just because of what he is and what he always been. That's why I don't draft those players. Like T. Higgins and Calvin Ridley, I don't want them because they ain't superstars enough to make me sit up and coming guys, and then they go out here and have these average games and these below average games here and there. And you always gonna keep in that cycle. Most people that had these guys on their team, they never win a championship because they ain't got enough high floor. And you see people who come in with Shaheed and Christian Watson, and they do better than these guys. But I'm gonna tell you, Calvin Ridley over Brandon Allen. He's the number 1 wide receiver on this team. Tim J says Michael Wilson or Shaheed, bro. I'm going with the boom. Michael Wilson is a safe play today. Michael Wilson is a safe play today. Chris said, you good. I'm sorry about that, Chris, again. I don't like that when you spend bread, bro. I want to get to your question fast and in a hurry. So I apologize about that again. It's Brody says, yo, how you doing? I'm doing good. He says, I have all my lineup set. I'm just not sure on these two. Okay, should I start CJ Stroud or Joe Burrow? Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow. Now listen, I'm gonna give you I always say this. You should not have 2 quarterbacks on your team like that. I understand why you got a backup for Joe Burrow, but it should be a lower caliber guy. Now you might be in a different league where you still drafted a really good team, but I just want you. I think you're gonna have to make a decision, man. Don't try to play Joe Burrow and C.J. Stroud every week. Now listen, if you want to do that, that's fine. I'm not gonna tell you what to do, but if you ask me the question, I'm gonna keep it real with you, and I think that's what y'all want me here for anyway, right? No matter what happens for the results, I'm gonna tell you the way I teach, right? So I'm gonna play Joe Burrow because he had such a great matchup today, and the other is, should I start Tony Pollard or Juwan Jennings? Tony Pollard. Juwan Jennings got all these weapons back. But guess what, guys? I won't be surprised if he was to outdo all the wide receivers today because they try to reward him of what he did last week. Brian Ortega says, top of the morning, TD. Yes, sir. He said, let's get it. Trying to keep my perfect record going. Pick up and play Geno or Fields over Hurts. Play Geno over Hurts. All right. Super chat in the building from Jamar. What's up, Jamar? He says full PPR, Akers or Shakir, drop Dowdle or Irvin. Bruh, I can't tell you to drop, but I don't know your team, bruh. But Jamar, I can't tell you to drop Dowdle or Irvin. Bruh, those are 2 running backs that you might need in week 9, and they might be the clear starter. So I can't picture you dropping one of those guys. I would drop Akers before I drop Dowdle or Irvin because Dowdle and Irvin has a better shot to be the starter for the rest of the year. Now, this week, Akers is a better play than both of those guys. Well, Dowdle already played. He had a good week. I wouldn't drop Dowdle. Hell no. I wouldn't drop no Bucky Irvin either. But I would play Akers over Shakir as long as Dameon Pierce is not there. I'm pretty sure Dameon Pierce is out this week too. If Dameon Pierce is there, it's going to be close. It's a tomato against Akers and Shakir. But I would go with Akers because he can get a goal line fall-in touchdown. But I'm going to tell you, don't drop Dowdle or Irvin. Morty Heem says, would you start Ford or Myers in the Superflex spot over Richardson starting a Superflex spot? Over Richardson starting Dalton in other quarterback spot. Only other option at quarterback is Levis. Thoughts? Thanks. Okay, so would you start 4 Ford or Myers? 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 4 Ford or That's tough. I know that Deontay Foreman is a backup that they want to put in and that he could get some goal line snaps over Ford. Myers got the whole in full PPR, man. I'm gonna go with Myers with Devontae Adams being out. Whoo, that's tough. But I'm gonna go with Myers with Devontae Adams being out. He should get 10 targets today. It's full PPR. And half point PPR and standard, I will go with Ford. And far as Richardson and Dalton, I would say Dalton because of what he did last week. But you gotta try to make room for Richardson. I think Richardson is gonna be okay. I think you gotta let him get better on your team. But eventually you might be able to put him over Dalton. But yeah, Dalton today, I'm the reason why I'm telling you Dalton, man, because I think Anthony Richardson can play good against tough matchups. You know how there's guys where they so damn talented, but they young. Ain't no defense stopping them. It's just if they're gonna stop themselves. The Steelers is a good defense. I'm not gonna disrespect the Steelers, but can't nobody stop Anthony Richardson if he's playing correctly with a great offensive coordinator. Shane Steichen, which that's his offensive coordinator, I'm pretty sure. I could have a brain freeze. He's a great play designer. So Anthony Richardson gonna ball out if he throws the ball well, if he don't make dumb turnovers. But I will still play Dalton over him this week because Dalton is hot. He's playing against the Cincinnati Bengals. Their defense hasn't looked great, so I would say Dalton. Ronald, what's up, Ronald? What's up, bruh? Ronald says start Daniels over Stroud. Yes. Go ahead and play Dan. Y'all guys got some killer quarterbacks, man. Y'all got to trade some of these backup quarterbacks. That's hard every week. Because what's going to happen, Jaden Daniels and Stroud going to both have good matchups. And you're going to play Jaden Daniels, but then Stroud might outplay him. And then if you lose by 5 points, you're going to go back to that start. And that's going to be crazy. But I don't know how y'all teams were drafted. So sometimes if a player is out there and nobody's picked him, you have to draft him at a certain level. So I get that. But I would say Daniels over Stroud. Conscious Machine says Love or Fields. I would go with Fields. I'm going to go ahead and go with Fields, man. I'm going with Fields over Love today. Don't feel great about it, but I want to see Love play with the knee injury. TD Flip says, we feeling Cam Akers or Carson Steele? I'm feeling Carson Steele slightly, but it's very, very close. You pick the guy. I think it's the same play. Theta says, Jonathan Mingo wide receiver for the Panthers? No, Xavier Leggett. But you could put him in for a long shot play, but a Xavier Leggett over Mingo. But you could put him in for a long shot play. He will get a couple targets today. Could be a big play. Infinite possibilities. Hold up. Okay. I'm sorry. Let me go to Compton Ace. Compton Ace, I'm sorry, bro. He says, just showing some support. Appreciate you, Compton Ace. I got to keep looking up, man, so I can follow these super chats. Appreciate you, Compton Ace. Yes, sir. I appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Infinite Possibilities says, question, a half-point PPR scoring league. Would you play Nelson, Roman Wilson, or Daryl Oberwale? Probably Roman Wilson. It's Brody said, someone dropped CMC and I picked them up for free. Yeah, bro, you killed it. You had to pick them up. Good job, Brody. Nick, what's up, Nick? He said, should I trade Mason for London? Half-point PPR? No. I have Henry, Kamara, Mixon, and Dobbins as well. So you got Henry and Kamara. They definitely your starters. Should I trade Mason for London? No. I think you should try to find a better wide receiver than London. Southside says, who you got tomorrow, Dolphins or Titans? I'm going Dolphins. I don't trust Will Levis. Guys, go get the backup quarterback for the Tennessee Titans right now. I don't think Will Levis is going to be the starter the whole year. Charlene says, put things in perspective. Fantasy football is just a game. Have fun. Nothing wrong with a little competition. Right. Fact, Charlene. Michael says, Rashad White or Brian Thomas Jr. Half-point PPR. I'm going Brian Thomas Jr. I'm high on Brian Thomas Jr. Father 3, what's up, bro? Good morning, TD Dude. I trust Love or roll with Darnold. Let's get it, fam. I think you go with Darnold today, and let's see how Love is going to play. Let's watch Love, but let's put Darnold in our lineup. Jari Alexander is out. Why he keep being out every time he got a damn tough matchup, man? I don't understand that shit, man. He's always out when he got. Wow. Okay, thank you, Tim J. Robert. I'm sorry. Thank you, Robert. He says Alexander is out. Let's go, Jefferson. Jefferson go ball. Tim J said another question. Hurts is missing all receivers, and I heard a lineman is out. Should I go Purdy over Hurts? Yes. Go Purdy over Hurts today. You can't go with Hurts today. He got his top two wide receivers is out. And he don't run the ball like that anymore. Nick says trade Mason for London. No. I think you should get a better wide receiver. Durf Boy says pick two. Should I play Addison, Mooney, Lockett, or Jennings? Let me go down, guys. Make sure I ain't got no more super chats. I see you, Arthur. Should I pick two? Addison and Mooney. Addison and Mooney. RG, what's up, bro? He says pick two. Pickens, Shaheed, Mooney, Brian Thomas Jr., and J-Mo. I'm going with J-Mo. J-Mo and Pickens. But it's close. J-Mo over the other guys, but between Pickens, Shaheed, and Mooney, man, that's a tough decision, bro. Good team. I'm going to go with Pickens over Shaheed because Pickens is the number one. Shaheed still got Olave over there who probably going to play today. Mooney is good, but he got two other guys that he had to compete against, and maybe three, maybe even B. John. Brian Thomas Jr. is good, but can we trust Trevor Lawrence and how they're going to design plays for him, even though we know that's coming? I would go with Pickens and J-Mo. Good question, RG. Appreciate you being here, bro. Kevin, what's up, Kevin? He says K9, G-Dub, or Deontay Johnson in the flex. I think you have to go with the the running back, K9, who's starting today. Now, I know you might say, well, he's coming off an injury. Well, you have to put him in. Wait a minute, is that Garrett Wilson? Woo. That's tough. You can't sit Garrett Wilson. I'm not sitting Garrett Wilson. I say tomato, Garrett Wilson, and Kenneth Walker. I probably would play Garrett Wilson, but he's got a tough matchup. So make that decision between K9 and Garrett Wilson. I love Deontay Johnson. All those guys are starters, but to choose, K9, Garrett Wilson. Woo, that's tough, Kevin. Brian says, look up Vinny Paz, Inner Days, and Rug, man. Hate speech, epic songs. And if you have anxiety, look up Alan Watts, How to Kill Anxiety. Okay, Brian. I will. Charlene says, I quit bowling. I had an average of 205. I wasn't having fun, and I was too competitive and lost my edge. I haven't played or touched bowling since. Right. She was like, nah, I'm not doing good at it, and I'm too competitive. I'm moving on. MVM says, who should I start, Kyler Murray or JD5? Kyler Murray slightly over JD5. Kyler Murray slightly over JD5. Chief fan says, what about Emmanuel Wilson? Stash. I don't know. I wouldn't tell you to play him today, but he's a great stash. Anything happens to Josh Jacobs, he could be a league winner. JD Lamb says, what up, bro? Star Walker or Jerome Ford? Walker. Star Walker, bro. Ethan, what's up, bro? Young whippersnapper. He said, would you go Jawan Jennings or Brian Thomas? I'm going with Brian Thomas since Debo is active. Charlene says, what about those Texas Longhorns? Grow. Hey, what you call it looks like him. Archie Manning. Archie Manning is him. Robert Malice says, Mahomes or Geno? I got to tell you to play Mahomes, Robert. Even though Geno probably might outplay him, I got to tell you Mahomes. Now, if you want to play Geno, I don't think it's a bad move if that helps you. But I'm never going to tell anybody to sit Mahomes. especially as they undefeated. I'm not gonna tell you to sit Mahomes. Now people quit drafting them because they're like, I don't want to be starting this guy. The Don says appreciate it anytime. Ethan says Burrow or Lamar this week. Lamar. You got to go with Lamar. You can't sit Lamar. Jacob Payne says, half point PPR league. I got a flex question. I got Brian Thomas Jr., Yosevich, Watson, Lazard, and Charbonnet. I was thinking Thomas Jr. and Yosevich, but was wondering your opinion. So I'm going to go with Brian Thomas Jr., and Lazard. Brian Thomas Jr. and Lazard. What's up, Morton Torres? What's up, bro? Always showing support. Appreciate it. He says, great show. Appreciate that, bro. Don Mega. What's up, Don? He says, flex for today. Chuba Hubbard or DJ Moore. I'm gonna get a little cutting edge here. I'm gonna get a little cute. I'm going with Chuba over DJ Moore. A lot of weapons on that Chicago Bears, but ain't no running back competing with Chuba today on that team. Not my prayer says Kincaid or Brock Bowers. I'm going with Brock Bowers over Kincaid. Post game says, bro, London, Garrett Wilson, Kenneth Walker, flex play, full point PPR. I'm going with Kenneth Walker, slightly over Garrett Wilson. It's all those guys are stars, but you got to go with the running back. I'm going with Kenneth Walker over London and Garrett Wilson. That's tough. I don't want to sit Garrett Wilson or London. I guess you could put London over Garrett Wilson because of the matchup. So I guess you could rank the guys. I guess I'm going to rank them. I would go Kenneth Walker, London, and then Garrett Wilson. Ethan says Jordan Mason or James Conner this week. You gotta go. That matchup is really good, man. I'm gonna say Jordan Mason. You gotta play Jordan Mason every week. I'm gonna say Jordan Mason slightly over Conner, but Conner is a star too. Ethan. Jake Reen says Juan, Steele, Waddle, Brian Thomas, or Leggett, 4 PPR. I'm going with Brian Thomas. Conscious Machine says poop. I think I know what he's talking about. Sandman says Jalen Hurts or Justin Fields. I know the Eagles receivers is hurt, right? So you got to go with Justin Fields. DJ says, good morning, bro. Olave or Flowers? I'm going with Flowers over Olave. Tron Ford says, before I trade JD5 and Cup for Neighbors, I can trade Mooney for Collar. Yeah, we'll go do Mooney for Collar. That's a better one. Yes, do the Mooney for Collar. Thank you for helping me out with that. I saw that later when you asked earlier, but I didn't know what quarterback. Maybe I didn't read it through. Yeah, go do Mooney and Collar instead of giving up JD5. Yes, sir. Stephen Mapp says, laugh out loud. Ethan says, Kendall Williams, Tyler Huntley, Jared Goff, or AR5 this week. I'm going with Jared Goff, but you need to trade some of those quarterbacks. It's going to be tough for you to make a great decision. I'm going to miss sometimes, bro. I'm going to miss. When you got a bunch of guys like this, some guys are going to come out of nowhere and be in top 5 every week. All right, guys, I think I'm going to go for about 15 more minutes. So make sure you get your super chat questions in. Robert says, should I try to get something for Jerome Ford? His schedule looks rough. Yes. Also, is coming back too. Nick Chubb. Elisa says, I'm going with Hubbard over Jacobs, and my other 2 running backs are Mason and Brian Robinson, half point PPR. What do you think? Yeah, I love Brian Robinson and I love Mason. You got to get both of those guys out there. Mason getting the whole workload, so is Brian Robinson, and Hubbard too. Sport Dog said TD 100, 18 PPR Superflex. I can pick up Roshan and use him today with Caleb Williams. I think he will replace Swift. I do too. And I think he can be a 3-down back. Agree? Yes, I agree with that. I do agree with that. Lisa says star 3 standard, Mason or A-Chain or JT O'Connor. Star 3, I would say Connor, JT, and Mason. Connor, JT, and Mason. The reason why you can sit A-Chain, you got a lot of other good studs that got great matchups. JT is a little tough. Actually, I'm still going to go with JT over A-Chain. I'm still going to go with JT over A-Chain. A-Chain is a star, but JT, I think with AR being such a dynamic, I think JT can get a fall-in touchdown quicker than A-Chain can. Or I need to see A-Chain play with these backup quarterbacks. Lucas says, yo, thanks for the stream. Star Brian Thomas Jr. or Worthy? Brian Thomas Jr. We need to see Worthy do have another good game. Big Mike says JSN, T. Higgins, or Jaden Reed in the flex. I'm going to go with T. Higgins over JSN and Jaden Reed. Jack Booth says, thanks, TD. Stash Hawkinson, need a running back. Who's a guy you think I should target to trade for? TD, thanks. Stash Hawkinson, need a running back. Brian Robinson, Chuba Hubbard. Charlene says, hey, TD, I got to go. Good luck to you and everyone. Yes, thank you, Charlene. Robert says, just picked up Lazard. Should I bench Higgins? IU? Your thoughts, bro? No. I would play Higgins over Lazard. Solo Bolo says T. Higgins or Michael Pittman. I guess I'm gonna go with T. Higgins over Pittman. The Steelers is like that. Jaden Lamb says traded Scary Terry for Jordan Mason straight up. W or L. I'm gonna give it a W because you got a running back who's getting all the carries. It's nothing like a running back that you know gonna play good every week. Harambe's Jungle. What's up, Harambe? He says happy Sunday, everyone. Steven Mapp says Mike Tyson or Jerome Ford. I'm gonna go with Jerome. I think he's a little bit younger. I think Mike is older. He almost 60. So I'm gonna go with Jerome Ford over Mike Tyson. Vib says, what's good, fam? Hope you well, bruh. Mike Evans, Tyreek Hill, T. Higgins, Rome Medusa, pick 3. Tyreek Hill, T. Higgins, and Mike Evans. Tyreek Hill, T. Higgins, and Mike Evans. Ron Marino says, what are your thoughts about Ayuk? Should I start him today? Yes, if he's the best guy. But sometimes you can sit him on the bench and just wait for him to have a good game. Then you can follow that pattern. But you could play him today if he's like that type of play. Like well, he's the best player that's on my bench for the flex spot. Put him in. Harami says Akers or Shakir in the flex and Hurts or Justin Fields. I would go with Justin Fields over Hurts, and I would go with Akers over Shakir because Akers can get a fall-in touchdown. If Shakir has another good game, then he's probably going to be the go-to guy as a wide receiver on this team. But I would still do Akers over Shakir today for the fall-in touchdown. Dub Nation says Freiermuth or Strange. I will go with Freiermuth over Strange. Also, who won this trade? Khalil Shakir and George Pickens for Debo. I don't know yet, but I would say Shakir and Pickens because you got two guys who are trending up, and Debo who's coming off an injury. So I will go to the Khalil Shakir and Pickens side. Caleb Hamilton says full PPR flex: Najee, Kenneth Walker, Jamison, Michael Wilson, Keenan Allen, or Waddle. Full PPR flex 2: Kenneth Walker and Jamison. Kenneth Walker and Jamison. Ian Taylor says Ian Taylor says Jamison Williams, Mooney, or Patterson. I'm going with Jamison Williams. Ethan says Cole Kmet or Travis Kelce this week. Travis Kelce. Lesek says PPR star 2, Ramondre Moss or Cooper. Zach Moss and Cooper. I think Ramondre is a star, but not for those 3 guys. Robert says Ertz or Andrews. Let's try Andrews one more week. Let's see what Andrews going to do this week. Truth Please says full for my flex, half PPR, need one. Really, Jr., White, or Brian Thomas Jr.? I'm going with Brian Thomas Jr. Ian Taylor says Brian Thomas Jr. or Mooney. I'm going with, let's go with Brian Thomas Jr. slightly over Mooney. Compton A says, damn, this fire got a follower. Ain't no, it was a brother in the fantasy space. Thank you, brother. A lot of people don't understand that. I know I don't have the many subscribers of some of these other guys, but I'm one of the only African American guys that started their channel straight up from the bottom with no help, right? So I appreciate you noticing that, Compton. Chris said you good. Appreciate that, Chris. Chris with another super chat in the building. He says pick 2. PPR, Debo, DJ Cooper, Irvin, or Brian Thomas Jr. I'm going to go with Brian Thomas Jr. and Amari Cooper. Brian Thomas Jr. and Amari Cooper. And I'm gonna give you another guy that you could throw in if you wanted to, if you like him. DJ Moore. But I would prefer Brian Thomas Jr. and Amari Cooper. Appreciate that, Chris. All right. Sandman says Hurts or Fields. I'm going with Fields. C.A. Jefferson says AR or Fields. I like AR, man, but I still got to go with Fields over AR. Let's see AR play good. I think he can, but let's see it. Caleb Hamilton says full PPR flex. 2. Najee, Kenneth Walker, Jameson, Michael Wilson, Keenan Allen, or Water. I'm going with Kenneth Walker and Jameson. Jimmy's TV said, you said starting Garrett Wilson, but do you know Sertan? Yes, I know what Sertan is, but that doesn't scare me because the reason why, bro, even though corners are good, it's hard to stop an upper echelon type wide receiver, bro. He said Sertan always has held elite wideouts. Correct. Metcalf is not a great route runner, and you can, if you are a big corner and you strong, you can give him hell. But if he's stronger than you, he'll push you down and go out for a route. George Pickens, yes, but George Pickens was getting behind him a couple times. They caught a couple pass interference. Mike Evans, he shut Mike Evans down. To under 30 yards receiving. Make sense, TD. Wait a minute, Jimmy. What makes sense to me, I'm starting my studs, and I don't care if Garrett Wilson give me 5 points. So if you willing to sit Garrett Wilson for Tyler Lockett, then bro, you can go ahead and do it. But I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do on my team. So what makes sense to my team? How many targets did he get on the left side of the field? And he's playing against Deion Sanders' son, and he's gonna shut him down. I don't play fantasy that way. And if you better than me, bro, go. I'm not saying you're not better than me. You could go out and you can start whoever you want to. Me, I'm going down with the ship. I'm loyal. If I drafted Garrett Wilson, I'm playing him. Why in the hell would I draft a guy in the second round and go sit him on matchups? You can play fantasy that way. I'm fine with that. I'm not saying my way is better than your way. I'm never going to sit my studs. Never. Deion Sanders, Darrelle Reeves out there together. I'm starting my guys. So that's why it makes sense to me. Hector says, is Ricky Pearsall worth stashing? Yes, he is. Yes, he is. It's Brody says, appreciate that, bro, anytime. The Gone Network says, standard Herbert versus Bengals or Kenneth Walker versus the tough Lions defense? Yes, the Lions defense is tough, but Kenneth Walker still getting goal line touches on the team who's moving the ball between the 20s a lot. I would go with Herbert because of the matchup. I would go with Hubbard slightly over Kenneth Walker because of the matchup. Arthur says, TD, start Garrett Wilson or Amari Cooper. So I think Garrett Wilson is a start automatically. But almost everybody in fantasy football got a better matchup than him, right? So I don't want to get matchup dependent because that's you automatically going to sit him. I think you need to put Garrett Wilson in the game. I think they're going to move Garrett Wilson around. But you got to be okay with Garrett Wilson having 6 or 7 points. If you're not fine with that, then play Amari Cooper and it's easy. And that goes to anybody who don't want to play Garrett. You don't have to play Garrett Wilson. I understand it. I'm not arguing for Garrett Wilson that he's going to beat Patrick Surtain for 100 yards. That's not what I'm arguing. What I'm arguing is the mentality of why you play certain guys. Garrett Wilson is a top wide receiver. It's no wide receiver that I'm drafting in the first 2 rounds that I'm going to sit for any corner. So I would tell you, bro, go ahead and play Garrett Wilson, and your other team will help support him. But if he hits, look what's going to happen. You play Garrett Wilson, man, that was intelligent. You just said, I just started him because that's my starter. It ain't got nothing to do that Patrick Surtain had a hurt ankle and he can't go out to the left and this guy's going to the right. All that shit don't matter. Play your studs. Aaron Rodgers not going to go away from Garrett Wilson and only give him 2 targets. Now, if that happens, it could happen, though. It could happen. I'm going to start my guy. Down forward punt says, not sure if you touched on this yet, but Juan Jennings or Montgomery flex PPR. Yeah, man, I haven't touched on that yet, but you could play David Montgomery over Juan Jennings, especially with all the guys back. And David Montgomery is getting goal line touches. So you can play David Montgomery with all those wide receivers back for the San Francisco 49ers. Let's see. Jamar Joseph says 100. Appreciate that, bro. KL says Kamar, JSN, Kirk in the flex. I'm going with you got to play Kamar over JSN and Kirk in the flex. Anthony Richardson or Derek Carr. Listen, Rich ain't been playing well, but let's see what Derek Carr. Let me look and see this man. Yeah, he playing the Falcons, right? So. Man, I'm going to say Anthony Richardson. Derek Carr, he's so volatile. And then you also have Taysom Hill playing today. I'm going to go with Anthony Richardson, bro. Just roll him out there. And listen, if you don't like that, listen, Anthony Richardson been struggling for like 2 to 3 weeks. Then there's nothing wrong with playing Derek Carr. The reason why I want to get Anthony Richardson out on the field because I believe he's not matchup dependent. I believe nobody can stop him unless he stops himself, the way his game is. And he looks like he's been stopping himself. So going to Derek Carr is good, but Derek Carr don't have the catch. He's not Kyler Murray. He's not Andy Dalton right now. Now, he's had a couple good games before last week, but we know how Derek Carr can be. We've seen him go up and down his whole career. So I'm going to say Anthony Richardson, but, bro, you don't have to listen to me. You can play Derek Carr. I think that's a great play over Anthony Richardson, especially how Anthony Richardson, how he's been playing lately. Mr. Sleeper Gaming, what's up, bro? Compton A says Alec Pierce, Sutton, or Trey Tucker with no Tay. I would go with Cortland Sutton. Robert Foster said, what's good, TD? Start Ayuk or Quentin Johnson? I'm not waiting until Monday for Waddle. I'm tired of this Purdy Ayuk stack. Right. What's good, TD? Start Ayuk or Quentin Johnson? Justin Herbert is playing today. Let's go with Ayuk one more time. This is what we facing. This is why we playing Ayuk. Let's see if Quentin Johnson can go 3 games in a row where he gets a touchdown and he's targeted in his offense at like a number 1 wide receiver rate. If he does it one more time, then you know you can play Quentin over Ayuk going forward. Right now, I still can't. Quentin Johnson got to dig himself out of that. I can't catch nothing whole, and it's gonna take him 3 to 4 games to do that. If he does that one more game, then you know he's played out of that role of I can't catch anything and they're not gonna give me any targets. And then Ayuk gonna go into that role where you got to prove it to me before I can play you. That's how I see it. But right now, I would still put Ayuk over Quentin Johnson. Evan says Leggett or Waddle. I'm going with Leggett over Waddle. B- is Tyreek Hill or Khalil Shakir. I'm going with Tyreek Hill over Khalil Shakir. Caleb says full PPR flex 2. Najee, Kenneth Walker, Jameson, Michael Williams, Kenneth. I think I answered that question like 5 times. But I'm going to go with Kenneth Walker and Jameson. All right, guys, so I'm going to get ready to go out of here. So I'm going to go through. Unless you super chat, I'm going to read out only the members' questions from now on, unless it's kind of short. Moss or Scary Terry? I'm going with Scary Terry. T2 says Zamir White or Roshan Johnson. I'm going Roshan Johnson. Conscious Machine said I want to play Dotson over Sutton and Dobbs. Why is no one on Jahan? Eagles got to throw him at least 8 because they haven't thrown him the ball. Devontae Smith went out the game. They still went throwing the ball. Johnny says Deontay or T. I'm going with Deontay. KO says Gino or Carr. I'm going with Gino. Conscious Machine says 205 is a killer. I love bowling. Should I start Ayuk or Pittman Jr.? Ayuk over Pittman. Tim J says, thanks for you always answering my questions, brother. Appreciate you. One last question. Should I roll with Minnesota D or grab the Titans or Chicago off waivers? I guess you could play the Titans slightly over Minnesota. Minnesota got a good matchup today, but the Packers Packers got a good play designer. They can put up 14 to 21 points. But don't drop Minnesota defense, which you're not. But I could see Tennessee holding the Dolphins down to 14 points. So I say slightly Tennessee over Minnesota. Big Wheel says Braden Allen or Keenan Allen, bro. I would go with in full PPR. I would still go with Keenan Allen in full. Half one PPR standard. I'm going with Braylon. All right, guys. I got to get through. My phone about to go dead. Let's see here. Travis says, "What's up, Target Bad?" Travis Mooney says Jennings, Lazard, or Worthy. I'm going with Lazard over Worthy and Jennings. Anytime Arthur. Viv says Braylon. Okay, with Braylon Allen or Rashawn Johnson. I'm going with Braylon Allen. Super chat. King of Nike says, should I flex Adunze over T. Higgins with Allen playing? Should I flex Adunze over T? And then Bucky or White? I'm going with Bucky over White, and I would play T. Higgins over Adunze today. T. Higgins, he got a great matchup. You got to play him. If you can't play him now, you ain't gonna really never be able to play him. And Conscience said, I'm going to take your advice and stick with Sutton even against Sauce. I did draft Sutton as a starter. Thanks, TD. Right. And Melvin says, still a Braylon Allen at my flex. It's tomato. I'm going to go with Braylon Allen slightly. I'm just going with Braylon Allen slightly over Steele. All right, guys. Well, listen, I'm going to get out of here. I appreciate the super chat, King of Nike. Y'all guys be safe. See y'all later. Make sure you hit the like button. Peace. Right. I see that, Philly Mike. I saw that. Yes. Start Addison.